So I got some Peggy Martin roses. A few months ago, I was, walking around the neighborhood or at my mom's house, and some of her neighbors had these roses coming over the fence, and I thought those were so beautiful. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but I think that they were discovered. I mean, they've existed a long time, but I think they got renamed after Katrina. They were the hardiest roses that they had seen. They survived it, and so after seeing them, I had started looking around to see where I could purchase them. My mother had found a nursery near her home. She got the last one that they had in stock. I searched around and went to a nursery, if you're in Houston. It was off of 249 and the Beltway. It's called RCW. I'm gonna link it below. And I had called them and asked them if they had any of these roses in stock, and they said no. That they sold all that they had, but they weren't expecting to get any for a couple of months, which would be in June. And I said, well, is there a waiting list I could be placed on? And they said, yeah, let me take your name down, and when we get them in, we'll give you a call. So I did that. But in the meantime, I looked around, and there's another, one of my favorite nurseries, Arbor Gate, which is in Tomball. And I asked them, and they had said, yeah, they were getting some later in the week, they said. And I called them, I think it was Thursday, and asked if they got them in. They said, yeah, they're already gone. And they said, we'll get some more next week. But I called again, and they said, I'm sorry, you just missed it. So, I mean, these were roses that were in high demand. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until they call me and I'll get them. And I'm so glad. They gave me a call and said, your roses are here. And so I went and picked them up, and I couldn't be happier. They are very hardy. So I'll show you some pictures and let you see how beautiful they are. And they do really well in my zone, which is 9A. And so I'm so excited. I've planted some in the front. I'll show you where I planted them. I actually had a, what is it called? A star jasmine planted there, and it has been doing really well. I mean, I've gardened before in my previous home, but I don't think I've ever really taken care of it. So I've amended the soil and added compost, and all of the plants that I've planted in these spots are thriving. I really do. I've never grown hydrangeas and had them do well. And since my whole theme for this house is like cottage, I want it to look like a little cottage. So I've made some changes. I've planted some things, and I'm going to show you what I've done. And then I'll take you into the back where I transplanted that star jasmine back there. But I wanted to show you another trellis that I made, because the star jasmine is really doing well. The trellis that I put behind it in the front yard, the tall one that I made, it was climbing up it. So I thought maybe if I gave it a wider one to climb, then it could spread out and start climbing that. So that's what I did back there. And so I'm making another trellis similar to that for my, I bought 2 of those plants, the Peggy Martin roses. And I'm going to make another one and show you how I did that one. I saw this trellis at that RCW nurseries on another plant, and thought, how pretty is that? And so that's what I was trying to replicate. It's not totally the same. It's a little bit bigger, but it's going to be nice once it's all covered up. So anyway, let me show you the changes that I've made, and yeah, and let you see it. There's a break in the rain. It's been raining for like 2 weeks, and so I think it's supposed to rain for the next week still. So I'm gonna plant it while I get a chance. And this is the last one I have to plant, but I'm gonna show you some of the changes that I've made. I've changed the light fixture outside to one that I bought on Amazon. It's just so much easier to change the light bulb on it. The one that I had before, you had to remove the top little thing to take the lid off and then put the light bulb in it. This one, it looks like more like that farmhouse type cottage looking thing. You'll see it. And I can just change the bulb, so it's really cute. And my hydrangeas are blooming. My star jasmine's thriving. And I'm gonna show you the back and the things that I did back there. So let's go. Look how well that star jasmine's doing. I love it. And that light fixture, it's perfect. I moved the salvia from the other side of the yard, or the other side of the garden here, to there, and it's just thriving. That right there is my rose that I need to plant. That's the one that we're going to move to the back. But that black-eyed Susan is doing so well there. I amended the soil like I was mentioning, and all of my plants are thriving. Take me back. I found that Happiness is Homemade sign at Walmart. Just in case you're looking for one, I'll link it in the description box. Barefoot. No mistake ever kept me late. We spent summers catching fireflies and winters on our skates. One big smile across my face. And there's my Peggy Martin rose. It has grown so much since I bought it that I had to hurry up and plant it. And this is where that star jasmine was climbing that I took out of here, untangled it from the trellis that I made and moved it to the backyard. But look how well it's doing. This is where I think that if it just grows up there and maybe goes around the brick, that it'll make it just look that much more like a cottage. I don't know if you're an expert with gardening, but I'm not sure whether that magnolia tree is too close to my house. It's something that the builders had put in, and I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with that. But look how well my hydrangeas are doing. I need to come and cut some of them, I think. I've been putting them, cut flowers from the garden in my home, and it looks so pretty. This is my back patio. I took a bar stool and added one of those round wooden pieces that you buy at Home Depot and stained it, and made a little bistro type table in the backyard. And it is perfect. I really just wanted a little place that didn't take up too much room, that I could come out and have a cup of coffee, and it's perfect. Never mind the little pillows there on the side. I haven't decided whether I'm going to get rid of them, or I think I'm going to try and make a swing for the other swing set I made. But I'm going to show you in a second the corbels that I had bought at Round Top that I installed up there. I love them. They add so much character to this entry. So you can't really see them well because it's about to start raining. And it's a good thing I planted this other rose when I did, because I'll show you that it rained. I also made this little tower herb garden. I just got a piece of square rebar or rod and asked the guys in the fab shop at work to weld a square piece of plate to the bottom, and then I stacked the plant pots on top of it. So I've got a little towering herb garden. That plant below, I need to plant it, but my bell peppers have gotten so much rain that I don't think it's doing very well. They're still growing, but it looks so drenched. I believe this is called a mountain laurel, and it blooms so nice at this time of year. and I just love it. I tried to trim it down just because it takes up so much space, but it just came back fuller than ever. No mistake. I think one of my plans is to, where this table is to make like a little patio with flagstone. Is that right? Anyway, this is the window below my bedroom, or where my bedroom is, and I planted these knockout roses, and I love seeing the roses outside my bedroom window. But there is that Carolina jasmine that's not blooming right now, but it's doing really well. It's climbed up my star trellises, and I love it. And there's my crepe myrtle that should start blooming soon. These are sapling trees that I had got at the Arbor Day tree giveaway in the Woodlands, and they're starting to do well. I used that compost on them and been feeding them, and this is this jasmine I transplanted from the front, and it's doing well. That is the trellis I made that I'm going to show you what I did. It's really simple. It was just making a box and adding them. It cost me about $23 to do. So I was inspired to do this when I was at the nursery picking up my roses. They had a plant with a trellis behind it that was shaped like a diamond, and I thought, that is a really good idea. That shouldn't take very much to make, and it really didn't. I took 4 1x2x8 pieces of cedar board, and like I said, it was about $24 to make. I took them and I cut them in half, so I had 8 4-foot boards, and I took 4 of those boards and made a box, and then I took the others and put 2. You'll see, I'll show you.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care in the world. I was one rich little girl.
So I put 2 boards going in one direction, spaced about 15 inches from each side. That made it a little bit more even. You know, I thought that maybe 12 inches would, and I did it on my previous trellis, but it didn't. It left like a bigger gap in the middle, so I just did it at 15 inches, and it seemed to work out fine.
No mistake ever kept me late.
Then I repeated the same step on the other side. I just placed the other 2 boards, spaced 15 inches from the ends.
One big smile across my face. We used to dance our way to church on Sundays. Mama set the pace. Daydream.
And I planted my rose. I can't wait to show you as it grows.
Take me back, all the way back to them days.